It's raining, it's cold, and for some of you, there might even be snow on the ground. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the plants that you need to go buy right now before spring gets started and the selection gets picked over and stores are out of these things. So join me today and see what you need to buy so that you can be prepared with all the varieties that you want to grow this growing season. Okay, folks, so I'm going to start off with what I'm most excited about. This is the first time I have ever purchased mail order trees or plants of any kind. So I purchased a bunch of fruit trees and perennial fruits for our garden from a nursery called Burnt Ridge Nursery, which is a local nursery here in my state. Very similar growing conditions, so I'm going to feel really confident that these plants are going to thrive here at my home. Not only are they a local nursery, but these plants were actually grown at that nursery. They're not from a local nursery that ships them in from other places. They're grown there and in a similar climate, pretty much the same exact climate of mine. They're a bit south, maybe about 120 miles south of where I'm at, and that's pretty darn close. So Burnt Ridge Nursery, first time I've ever ordered for them. Let's get it open. So this year we are starting everything from scratch. We just moved here in the middle of last summer, and we didn't really plant or grow anything last summer. So this homestead has pretty much no landscaping and no perennial food plants at all, except for some amazing blueberry bushes. So it's kind of a blank slate, and we've got a lot to grow. Now, some of this stuff, I don't even know where I'm going to put it yet. So I'm going to have to put it in pots for the time being, because I know that the best selection of the plants that I want are available right now in spring. In fact, one of the plum trees that I wanted, I was too slow by like a day in ordering them, and they sold out. So if you're looking for a particular variety from a nursery, you want to order it now. Even if you're not sure where to put it, you can plant it in a pot for now until you figure out where you want to put it. All right, so far we are looking good. These are all bare root plants, different varieties of fruit trees, and there's some strawberry plants, I'm assuming, in there. Let's get things pulled out and take a look. First up are these ever-bearing strawberry bare root plants. This variety is called Seascape, and you can see here, I think this was a package of 25. Yeah, a bundle of 25, and it was maybe like, oh golly, about $12-15. I'm not going to remember the prices, but it was a good deal. So these are looking very healthy, and I'm going to need to get these into some soil as soon as possible. I won't be showing you that today, but maybe this weekend I'll get around to that. Today I just wanted to get them out of their box and take a look at what I have and get prepared to plant them this weekend. Next up are the Totem Strawberries, which are a June-bearing crop, or June-bearing variety. So these will produce pretty much all of their berries in one big crop, pretty much like a determinate tomato. So they're gonna put on, this one's, oh no, it's fine, no worries. They're gonna have their huge big crop in June, and whereas those ever-bearing strawberries are going to have, I think they have like a main crop in late June or July, and then they're gonna continue producing berries throughout the rest of the summer. So these also look good, and I can't wait to plant them. Okay guys, so I really wanted to pull these apart and show you each variety that I have here, but they're packaged in a bundle, and I really would prefer to keep them together because I'm not going to be planting these right away, so I'm not going to take them apart. But I will try to show you what I have here. So this right here is a fig tree. The variety is the Violetta du Bordeaux. This is a small tree or shrub with black-skinned fruits with red flesh, great fresh or dried, reliable producer in the Pacific Northwest. It also says good in pots, which thumbs up. I will probably do for this season. Keep them in a pot, and this fall, plant them when I have a better idea of where my gardens are going to be here on my homestead. These other trees I've got here are two plum varieties. I've got a Hollywood plum, which is a dark purple leaves with pink flower buds, white flowers early spring, medium-sized red plums, self-fertile European variety. It's semi-dwarf, 17 feet. Next one I have is the Toca Plum. It is a semi-dwarf, larger size, medium to large fruit, firm, spicy, sweet, and flavorful. Reddish orange skin with yellow flesh, very hardy, self-fertile. Oh shucks, it's a clingstone. I tried not to buy any clingstones. I much prefer a freestone, but that's okay. I now have a clingstone. And I've got one more plum that came from somewhere else, but I'll show you that in a minute. Here I've got another fig. I've got the Desert King fig, which is kind of funny thinking about it because I definitely do not live in a desert. But this one is a dark green skinned fig with pink flesh, excellent quality, fresh or dried, can ripen in cool climates, and it is a small tree or shrub. It likes the sun. And then this is the plum, and here I've got an elderberry plant. I am looking forward to growing elderberry and harvesting for consumption, not for ornamental, because you've got ornamental elderberries and then you've got elderberries that are meant for medicinal properties and things like that. So this is the coarser elderberry. It is the Sambucus nigra. Big red clusters of large black juicy berries, commercial Danish cultivar, heavy yield, grows to 8 feet at maturity. Now, I just listened to some really cool podcasts about elderberries, and I realized all the varieties I got were European elderberries, and next year, maybe even now, I'm going to be on the hunt for some American varieties, which are varieties or cultivars that were found growing wild here in the United States and have been cultivated to enhance that cultivar for successful high production yields. So elderberry production in the United States is really kind of in its, I wouldn't say infancy, but it's really just starting to grow compared to elderberry production from European countries. So hopefully I'll get my hands on some of those American or native North American varieties. Here's my other elderberry plant. I forget the variety on it, and the tag's stuck in there, so I'm gonna have to come back in when I'm editing and add that name right now. It came with a big giant bamboo stick, which I'm grateful for, but it's just a real teeny tiny plant, and I hear these grow quick. I've never grown elderberry. We have an elderberry here in our new home. It's, I'm guessing, a red elderberry, which you don't want to eat, and is just totally ornamental. So this is all new to me, and I'm very excited. Now, I'm not ready to plant any of these, so I have to get them back in this box nicely and get them ready to get planted this weekend. So I've got one more plum tree that I want to share with you. I intended to buy a similar variety from Burnt Ridge Nursery, but it had already sold out by the time I checked my cart out. So that's why it's so important to buy these plants right now, even if you're not ready to plant them yet. So this is more like an Italian style plum. I got this from Coastal Hardware. They had a pretty good selection of plums, apples, cherry, pear, but I was just looking to get into plums this year, not pears and apples or cherry as well. So this plant, aside from this little broken limb here, this is a great looking tree. It's also bare root. They even had multi-species varieties, that were grafted on, so you could grow several different varieties of plums or apples or whatever you're looking for. Another great place, which I'm going to show you what I got from there earlier, to get trees is Costco. Costco has a ton of bare root trees. They might be just starting to sell out of them. It is March 3rd today. Happy birthday, brother. But I also have heard that some people haven't had great luck with those varieties. And I don't know if it has to do with, well, who knows, to be honest. There could be so many reasons why. And I said varieties, I meant the trees purchased from Costco. But pretty much every plant I've ever purchased from Costco has done great for me. So I can't say whether or not Costco trees grow well, but if you have any feedback on that, I'd love to hear it below, because Costco's got great deals on plants and they generally look really healthy. So this variety is a, what is it? Here we go. Brooks Prune, semi-dwarf, freestone, because I don't like all my fruit flesh clinging to the stone, and it produces very large purplish black fruit with yellow flesh that is sweet and excellent for eating, fresh, canning, and drying. Ripens in August. So this was what I was going for, was a traditional Italian plum that is just kind of, well, at least for me, I remember growing up, walking down the street and just seeing plum trees and grabbing plums off people's trees. I don't think I ever lived anywhere that had a plum tree, but I definitely ate a lot of plums from other people's trees. And I know my dad has one of those varieties. Okay, I told you that Costco has great plants. They really do. I think supporting local companies is great. It just so happens that Costco is a very large corporation that is local to me and started in our area. So I buy a lot of stuff from Costco. They have great plants, great value, and if that's okay with you, I suggest checking it out. So let me show you all the great goodies I got from Costco. First off, we're gonna start with the peonies that I purchased from Costco, because those are what you're gonna wanna get first, because they need to get planted ASAP. I have this large varietal pack of peonies. Now I will say Costco doesn't have the hugest selection of peonies, but if you're looking for some basic colors, real basic peony plants for a really good value, 8 plants, this was I think $12.99, maybe $14.99. This is a great value for some really basic, nice plants. If you're looking for a little bit more color, uniqueness, they don't have that much variety in their peony plants at Costco. And these are all bare root bulbs, or tubers, pardon. However, what Costco does have a big variety of is dahlias, and I bought a ton. Each of these bags was $12.99. Each bag comes in with a different number of tubers depending on how unique that variety is. So this variety here, we've got 9 of them. We've got Omega and Holly Houston. Gorgeous. Now I will say, you can see behind me all these pots. These actually have dahlias that I've overwintered, kept them in the pots. I didn't take them out and store them or anything. These are all dahlias I purchased from Costco last year. They looked great. They even did well in these little pots. And I'm not sure where I want everything to go yet, but I do want to start investing in these type of plants now, because I know that as they mature and grow, they're going to get larger and more beautiful, and I'll be able to harvest more blooms from them. So I think I'll probably be doing the same for a lot of my plants, is just potting them up until I really get a good idea of where I want things to go in all my new gardens. I'm a sucker for purples, so I got these nice basic purples. We've got Lavender Perfection and Thomas Edison. There was 9 tubers in this bag. Here we've got some little more unique type of petals. I don't know what you call it when they've got those frilly little edges. This is Alauna Claire Obscure and Tsuki Yoro no Shisha. That's my guess. Gorgeous. And here, go Huskies, whoop! I've got some purple and gold. We've got Thomas Edison and Trooper Dan. Oh gosh, I love these ones. There was some at the community garden that I used to garden at that look just like these, and oh, they were stunning. We've got the HS Kiss and Bacardi. 9 tubers in that bag. And of course, more purples. Oh yeah, those are gonna be fun. The Prami 18 and White Perfection. I haven't in the past grown a lot of white flowers, but I think it's going to be great to have a bunch of white flowers because they can pair with a lot of different colors, and it kind of is that nice resting color that's not going to just overwhelm your gardens or your bouquets. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so that's it for the dahlias. Now, I can't guarantee that Costco still has good selection, but if you live near Costco, if you're a Costco shopper, get out there and check. All right, while I'm talking Costco plants, let me show you what else I got there. I've got this pack of sedum. I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty standard bedding plant. I'm really excited. It's going to add some nice fall foliage, fall flowers, spring foliage. So that'll be nice. I think there's 5. We got 5. I'm not sure if you would call these a tuber or rhizome, whatever, but there's 5 of them in there. And next up, we've got 5 Nepeta. So Nepeta is like a salvia. This one is called Sylvester Blue, and it's a perennial, but all these are perennials. These are I love salvias, and I'm really excited for them. This one, let's see here. Oh, okay, so this one's like a 16-inch, so not too huge, just a nice kind of filler for the cottage garden that I'm going to be growing here. This will be mostly just for pollinators, beauty. I don't know how much food I'll be growing in this area right here. You can kind of see behind me. We are doing a lot of clearing. We had a big tree taken down, and all this still has a lot of, well, mostly it's vinca. What do you call that? It's like the little blue flowers. I just call it vinca. But anyways, I'm just buying up things that I know I like and will do well in full sun to fill in this beautiful cottage garden area. Hey, Kellen, what's up, buddy?
I just want to visit you.
Oh, here, let's move the camera so they can see you. What's up, dude?
I'm just coming by.
What do you want to tell our friends?
If you buy these seeds, you have $10% off.
Okay. Hey, what's your school? What kind of fundraiser does your school have going on right now?
A plant fundraiser.
Yeah, his school is doing a plant sale as a fundraiser. How awesome is that? They did a holiday greens in December. They are doing a fundraiser and selling hanging baskets, flower bowls, and veggie starts. How cool is that? Way better than wrapping paper. Am I right? Yes, I'm definitely right. All right, Kellen, let's show them all the other plants that they need to buy right now.
There's something you need to buy.
Yeah, don't buy any newspaper. I mean, if you like to buy newspaper, go ahead. But all right, there's one more thing I got from Costco that I want to share with you. But before that, I do want to say these are just what I picked out. There was tons of lilies, daylilies, different types of lilies, hostas, elephant ears, little trilliums, all sorts of different spring planted, summer flowering bulbs and tubers and such. They also do in the fall, you can buy daffodils, tulips, which we've got all those planted and getting ready to bloom right now. But what I also snagged is something that I said I always hated, but now I really like. So I was never fond of roses because in like 3 houses ago, whatever, we had some roses. They were in poor health. They were not pruned. They were not vigorous. They were pokey. I pretty much hate everything pokey and want to get it out of the garden. But our last home that we lived in had some beautiful roses, and they were so easy to take care of. All I did was prune them. That's all I did. And they were a showstopper. They were gorgeous. As people went on walks, they were always complimenting us on our roses. So I decided to give roses a go and grow them here. I bought these just standard pink ones, and then I also bought some yellow ones. They're already planted. I need to get this guy planted as well. I think it's going to end up in a pot because I'm not so sure where I want it to end up for its permanent place yet. I think it was $16 for 2 roses, which is not bad because I think at Home Depot it was like $12 for one. So good value. But again, the varieties that they have, the colors are pretty basic. But I'm okay with that right now. I just want some basic fillers to get things going. Plus they're a fragrance collection, and let's get real. I'm all about flowers smelling good as well as looking good. Next up, I'm going to show you some things I got from 2 other places, just so that you know where you can go to get this same stuff. Back to peonies, which you need to get on right now because they need to be planted now. In fact, I've already planted these and they are sprouting and growing. So you want to get on top of these right now. This is from Home Depot. This is, we've got Hawaiian Coral, which is this one right here, and Flame, which is this one right here. I had these at my last house and I loved them. They were beautiful. They're not a fragrant peony. Some peonies are fragrant, some are not. I love the fragrant peonies, but it also kind of turns out that the ones that are really gorgeous and unique looking are generally not as fragrant. So I'm looking for that winter peony that is unique and smells great. Okay, the last place I picked up a bunch of stuff was Walmart. So traditionally I wouldn't go to Walmart as like the place to buy all my garden plants, but I was there and I couldn't resist myself. So we'll see how things grow. I will say I do like to go to Walmart in like kind of like the shoulder season and buy their clearance plants because they'll mark those puppies down and there'll be great deals. Real basic plantings that are kind of the foundation plants of your garden, and you get them on clearance, and I had a ton of those in my garden at my last house. So I had viburnum, lilacs for Cynthia, all those things that are just a nice, solid growers, and they were super cheap. Here's what I got from Walmart. I couldn't resist more of that Hawaiian Coral peony just because I love it so much. This is only one bulb, and let's see, it was $5 for one bulb. So not as great as a value as that Costco pack, but, oh wait, this one's not the Hawaiian Coral. Just kidding. This one, they call it Bowl of Beauty. In my other package from Home Depot, they called it Flame. Pretty much the same thing. I also got this Sorbet Peony. So what I did, I picked up some more unique varieties there. These are only 1 tuber each, but having some really basic varieties for kind of more of the wow factor, and then these unique special varieties for kind of more of the special details. I did pick up a box of the Hawaiian Coral. So we've got 2 in here, and it was $12 for 2 of them, so about 6 per tuber. Not bad, but it's a variety that I really like.
Look at my bouncy.
Ooh, guys, did you see that? Nice work, dude. So all those rocks right there were buried underneath vegetation, and we've been digging out. Our property has a lot of really cool rocks. We just need to kind of remove all the vegetation and dig them out of the dirt a little bit, and I'm really excited to get these moved and put somewhere. So once again, I have no clue where I'm gonna plant it, but I'm gonna plant it somewhere, and it's worth getting it started now so that I can get a jump start on growing it in the future. Is asparagus. These are the Jersey Giant asparagus. It was $3.24 for 3 roots.
Asparagus.
Are you kidding me? I love asparagus. I think you are thinking of something else. You're thinking of celery, because I hate celery. So these, I might even end up planting these in our kiddie swimming pool, but asparagus takes a couple of years to really get established before you can really start harvesting them and enjoying them. So I bought them, even though I don't have a place to put them yet, and I will either put them into my kiddie swimming pool or
swimming pool?
or put them
You don't
into
have
some fabric grow bags or something like that. But I'm going to get them growing, and then I can get them into the ground, into a permanent place, once I really start getting things figured out of what's going where. One more thing I got from Walmart was this Clematis. So this was $5.42 for one root. Obviously, it's not, you know, I could get probably like maybe a half-gallon plant from another nursery for maybe like 12 to 15 bucks. And this is going to take longer to get established, but I'm trying to fill out a whole yard full of things. Hold on. What's up, babe? You want to do that one? Okay. Yeah. You like these rocks?
Yeah.
All right.
The ones that you could move, I don't.
All right, guys. So I got this Clematis. Now my battery's flashing. It's starting to die. I've got to get this video wrapped up because Bill's making some pork chops. So
And he's also making some cornbread.
cornbread too.